The way of the sword runs far and deep, as do the journeys on which it takes me.
Oh, how true those words are. This is a clip from what may be the most difficult cutscene to get in Bravely Default, The Way of the Sword. In a game that doesn't dictate what order you do most of your subquests in, I probably should have known sooner that there are many alternate cutscenes that depend on you doing certain events in particular orders. And the most complex of these alternate scenarios that I could find involves our beloved Swordmaster Nobutsuna Kamiizumi. After doing the research to find the right way, Kamiizumi was correct. The way of the sword most certainly runs far and deep, with so many triggers and proper sequencing of events that one out-of-place action could ruin the run. This was some Dark Souls 3 Usurp the Flame level shit, so I knew I had to be careful. What I didn't expect to get out of this, however, was a deep dive into a love triangle between Kamiizumi, Braev Lee, and his wife Mahzer Lee, and Adia coming to understand their past and her relationship with her master. So what makes this cutscene so special besides being so hard to get? Well, it also happens to be an alternate ending to Kamiizumi's boss fight, in which he gets to live after the fight. So basically, we're saving Liam O'Brien. And so, I set out on stream a few days ago to get this scene in a single sitting of a fresh New Game Plus. This video will show all the steps I took to reach it, but I'm sure that some of them may be unnecessary, so feel free to comment below with any parts that need correcting. Either way, I'll keep an updated list of instructions in the description of this video, but I also want to give a shout out to SailorNemesis for having the most consistent information on getting the cutscene. We salute you, fellow Bravely tuber. Gone, but not forgotten. I'll also be showing all of the cutscenes along the way, so you can see the whole story just from this video if you so wish. Now then, let us set out on the path.
I will stop you at any cost.
Wait, one moment. Before we get directly onto the path, there is something we have to cover. The 3 different Kamiizumi deaths. Yes, before we even start trying for Way of the Sword, you have access to 3 versions of the Swordmaster's fate, A, B, and C. However, they are fairly simple to get. All you need to do is fight Kamiizumi at specific points in the game. Fate A is the one most people are familiar with, since you fight him after the Fire Crystal. Fate B, however, is only obtained if you beat Kamiizumi after beating Braev in Chapter 4, but before the Earth Crystal. And naturally, Fate C comes from beating him after cleansing the Earth Crystal in Chapter 4. Here are Fates A and B, just for context.
I'll admit this was a reckless plan from the outset. A great battle against a powerful nation, outnumbered 100 to 1. Such a thrilling opportunity. But I was not able to keep my subordinates in check, leading to the scourge of the toxic mist and the death of the fire vestal. The toxic mist decimated the main forces of the shield bearers, but the black blades did not escape unscathed. The death of the fire vestal caused Mount Karka to erupt, sealing the way into the temple. And then, you arrived.
You introduced me to the way of the sword, Master. You taught me many things. About values, standards, and good and evil. It's fair to say you had a great influence on me. My father was always concerned about his work and his ideals. He found little time to spend with me. Tell me, Master, were the things you told me about righteousness, strength, and bravery all lies? That we should help the helpless, and face strong foes without flinching. I cannot fathom why you have lit the fires of war in this realm, causing strife to so many innocents. I still find it hard to believe. This is not the man I know. He would never do this!
You let sentiment cloud your mind, Adia. You are still as earnest as you were when you were a youth. You never waver in your disgust for recreant behavior. You condemn all that runs counter to your beliefs without fail. In a way, you remind me of your father.
What? You see him in me?
Yes, very much so. But you are still a child, unsullied by the world. There are no certainties in life. Righteousness and truth have a different meaning to each and every one of us. If you try to see the world as merely black or white, you'll lose sight of its true nature.
Many are quick to treat us as children. But they simply use that as an excuse for their own corruption.
A warrior's pride is not always compatible with the responsibilities of a commander, Adia. If I could act as I see fit, everything would be easy. But that is not the case. The same goes for your father. And someday, for the wind vestal you accompany.
Oh. Don't compare her to you or my father. Agnes acts for the good of the world.
She fights to carry out her mission, no? Blood and tears are shed in its name. It is no different for your father, Omi.
Mission? No different? You and your soldiers plunged the world into turmoil. You started a war, and took the lives of so many. How can you say Agnes is like you?
If you cannot see beyond the surface, then perhaps you will never understand. Do not be so blind. You must not lose sight of what is most important. I thought I had taught you that.
Enough sophistry. It is underhanded. That does it! I shall go to help Agnes awaken the Earth Crystal.
If that is your decision, I hope you are prepared to live with it.
I am. I'm ready to fight any who get in our way. Even you or my father.
Very well, then. I see you have made up your mind.
Master!
Well fought. I underestimated your conviction. Will you hear your master out one last time, Adia?
Of course.
Take the time to speak with your father properly. If you do not, I see nothing but tragedy for you both. End this petty dissent between father and child.
Master.
You two were always so difficult.
Master!
I hear you cut your own father down. I had no idea you were capable of such a thing. It seems you no longer need any instruction from me when it comes to mastery of the blade. But tell me, why did you not have faith in your father? Do you not realize you have chosen a path of carnage, and even now bring the world to the brink of destruction?
Master, I saw with my own eyes and made up my mind. My father is wrong. This is the only way the world can be saved. I spoke with my father, but he did not see things my way. I had no desire to fight him, but I refused to bend to his will.
You are just like your father. I suppose this outcome was inevitable.
And what of your beliefs, Master? I spent 7 years studying the sword under you. The man I know would never support starting a civil war in another realm. The man I know would never condone assassination. He would never allow the use of vile weapons of mass murder. I heard about you and my mother on the streets of Eternia. Did you stray from your beliefs for the sake of my mother? And for my father who doted upon her?
You may have honed your skills in combat, but you are still a child after all.
What do you mean by that?
I staked my life on the ideals held by Braev. On his ideals, and the future he envisioned. That is all. All things beyond that resolve, my values, pride, and sentiment, are mere trifles. Know this, Adia. You may be his beloved daughter, and my disciple of the blade whom I hold dear, but I will stop you at any cost. For Braev the Templar, my old friend, and the husband of one I loved.
Master!
You have done me proud, though I should expect as much for one who bested Braev the Templar. Even I could not stop you. It is an honor to be outdone by my own disciple. What I foresaw became reality. Well fought. With my dying breath, I beg of you, Adia, do not awaken the Earth Crystal. It will only cost you regret.
Master, I'm afraid that's one wish I cannot grant you. My mind is made up. I cannot turn back now. I am sorry. Forgive me, Master.
Now we can begin the path. I did this run completely fresh, starting off in the prologue and just speed running through the first half of the game as quickly as possible. Well, maybe not as fast as I possibly could, but I wanted my team to have some flavor. Once I reached Chapter 3, I took the first step. I made sure to skip Kamiizumi and moved right on to Eternia after the Fire Crystal. In Eternia, I made sure to speak with Mahzer before moving on to Braev and the Earth Crystal, and then headed back for Kamiizumi to get Fate C.
Master!
You have already set foot on the path of carnage. No wonder I could not stop you. Forgive me, Braev. Your daughter cannot be stopped.
Master!
Once that was done, we entered the Holy Pillar and began Chapter 5. Now this is where the cutscene collecting really begins. First, we head back to Eternia and speak with Mahzer to get a cutscene called How Do You Feel?
Oh, Adia. What is it, child?
How do you feel, Mother?
I'm quite well today.
I see. I am glad.
Then we go outside to see this gentleman. This is the Gossipmonger, or the Gossiper as I'll call him for short. This is where the story of the love triangle begins. You want to listen to his story in full, which I'm going to let play out here.
Do you know the story of the two heroes of the Duchy of Eternia? It goes without saying that the first is Braev the Templar, Grand Marshal of the Eternian forces. The second is the Swordmaster Nobutsuna Kamiizumi, greatest swordsman in the land of immortality. We are blessed to have not one, but two great heroes in a single generation. You are the Templar's daughter, young lady? And you are a disciple of the Swordmaster. Well, I never. Still, I'll wager you haven't heard the story of the one true love of the Templar and the Swordmaster. All those my age know the tale. Ask me anything. Before he became a Templar, Braev Lee was a talented young student of the Orthodoxy from a rural village. His counterpart, the Swordmaster Nobutsuna Kamiizumi, was a top young swordsman at the city training hall. The two met here in the city and became fast friends as they trained together, honing both mind and sword arm. One day, the Templar returned to his home village, accompanied by his friend, the Swordmaster. However, when they returned to the city, it was clear there had been a falling out between them. Both refused to speak of it. They also all but ceased training together in the way of the sword. Word spread among the townspeople. We all had wondered what had happened between them. When the Templar later brought his betrothed from his home village to the city, the rumors started. Had the Swordmaster and the Templar become rivals over this beautiful young girl? The Templar became a bishop of the Orthodoxy at a young age, while the Swordmaster stayed as assistant instructor at the training hall. The year before the Great Plague, the two who had avoided each other so long suddenly engaged in a duel on the city outskirts. They fought for 3 days and nights in a constant flurry of sword blows, their clashing blades ringing throughout the city. At my best guess, the Swordmaster won by a narrow margin. In the end, it took a score of the Orthodoxy soldiers to stop the fighting. There is no doubt in my mind that the two of them fought day and night over the enchanting Mahzer. It was an epic battle for all involved. Afterwards, both were disciplined for taking part in the unsanctioned duel. The Swordmaster visited Mahzer alone. Soon after returning to the city, he set off on a journey to train in the art of war. Not long after, the Templar traveled to his village and brought his betrothed back with him. We all thought the Swordmaster had confessed his love and been spurned, leaving him broken-hearted. The duel was most likely a deadly struggle to see who would have the chance to declare their love first. Then the Great Plague descended. Amid the chaos, the Templar and Mahzer were joined in marriage. I cannot recall how many years it was before the Swordmaster returned. He took part in the Templars' uprising that followed. Who can say what was in his heart at the time? It is beyond the comprehension of simple folks such as I. Oh, really?
After hearing the tale of the Swordmaster and the Templar, you should get the party chat A Special Order. Then return to Mahzer to get another cutscene called Nevermind. These Mahzer cutscenes may not be necessary, but I think they add just a little flavor to the anxiety of the situation Edea is going through with all the rumors and all.
Oh, Edea, good to see you.
Excuse me, Mother.
What is it, child?
It's... never mind.
After we go beat Braev, this puts us in place for one of 2 cutscenes with Kamiizumi. If we go fight him now, without awakening all the crystals or have missed some other step, we will get Because I Am Her Daughter after the battle. You do not want this if you are trying for the Way of the Sword. What we need is Do You Still Love Her, which we get from having all the crystals awakened instead. So basically, do another Fate C. Either of these will give you the necessary For My Mother scene prior to the fight, but only with all the crystals awakened can we get the ever-important Do You Still Love Her.
So the fire crystal has been awakened. It has all been in vain. The war we started in this realm, the deaths of both ally and foe, and the demise of the fire vestal. Do you not think so? You who resemble a disciple I once favored.
Master?
I hear you defeated Braev, your father.
Yes.
So you could not have faith in his words. Your mother must have been saddened.
She knew the whole story and urged me to follow my heart.
I see. That does sound like your mother.
Did you do all this for my mother, Master?
What do you mean by that?
I know the whole thing. That you and my father dueled many years ago over Mother. that you answered Father's call to arms and seized the Earth Crystal. To save Mother after giving birth to me left her body broken, despite your pride in the way of the sword. You even started a war in the guise of a mercenary, and ordered the use of assassination and toxic weapons. All this for my mother. Is that the case even now?
You fool! Do you not see that your words demean both you and your mother?
But...
I took up arms for the Templar, a close friend, and the husband of one I once loved. Though he may lie defeated, with the ideals he held fading fast, I will fight to defeat any foe of his. Even you, Braev's daughter, and my favorite disciple.
Master!
Draw steel, Adia.
Master! Tell me, Master. Do you still love her? Master.
As well, here is Because I Am Her Daughter for those who wish to see it.
Master, why? Why did you hold back? Is it because I am her daughter? Answer me! Master!
Adia. My disciple.
After this, check back with Mahzer to get the facts behind the rumors in The Truth of the Matter, with a longer ending based on your actions.
Hello, Mother?
What is it, child? You look troubled.
Oh, it's just... I've heard some things. About when Father and my master were young.
I see. I thought those rumors long buried.
Is it true what they say? That Father and my master dueled over you?
No, that is not the case. They're both poor with words. They merely let their blades do the talking.
For 3 days and nights?
I suppose it can't be helped that people thought it was a duel.
They said my master went to confess his love for you after he won.
They have that wrong too. I still remember the day he came to my village like it was yesterday. He walked up to my house and said, "You must marry the Templar." He let me win, the scoundrel. Oh, he looked furious. "You only have eyes for the Templar. It must be you who tells that stubborn fool."
Then, your heart was Father's from the beginning?
Yes. I had been infatuated with him since we were children. Soon after Sir Kamiizumi left the village, your father came. Then, he told me of his love. Oh, it was a joyous day. He and I were betrothed, and I moved to the city of Eternia. Sir Kamiizumi had already left on a journey to master the art of the sword. Oh, that upset your father greatly. He hoped for his blessing more than any others.
I have struck him down, Mother. Master. And Father, too.
Yes, I had heard about Sir Kamiizumi. Your father's blood courses through your veins, and much of Sir Kamiizumi has rubbed off on you. Like them, you settle your problems with the blade. That is something you can likely never change. But remember, it is thanks to your master that we survived the Great Plague. We would not be here if not for him. I am alive today only because Sir Kamiizumi stood by your father when he needed aid. The same Kamiizumi who instilled the way of the sword within you. You must always be grateful for the gifts he has given you, now and forevermore.
I know, Mother.
If you have obtained Do You Still Love Her, then you are almost at the end. Head through the Holy Pillar once more, we go crush Chogmar and awaken the Fire Crystal, then speak to the Gossipper again, and then to Mahzer, before finally heading to Kamiizumi and getting the final cutscenes, the Quintessential Swordmaster, and the Way of the Sword. You will know if you got the ending correct if the pre-fight scene plays a melody of nostalgic reminiscence instead of Visitor. But here it is, for your viewing pleasure.
So the fire crystal has been awakened. It has all been in vain. The war we started in this realm. The deaths of both ally and foe. And the demise of the fire vestal. Do you not think so? You who resemble a disciple I once favored.
Master, I know. I've spoken with my father of it, any number of times. And my mother. She told me much of what happened. It gave me a new appreciation for the friendship and undying trust between you and my father. And your feelings for my mother. And your sense of purpose. I understand. All of it. I understand. Thank you for bringing my mother and father together. Thank you for helping my father. Thank you for teaching me the sword. Thank you for helping me become the woman I am today. And forgive me. Forgive me for what I've done.
It does my heart good to hear those words. What joy to see my student come into her own. Now, how about a lesson? It's been far too long since the last. Come at me with all your might, you and your comrades alike. I will show you the essence of mastery of the sword. Now come! You have grown strong, Adia. I've nothing more to teach you.
Master, I'm so very grateful to you.
Farewell, child.
Master, where will you go?
The way of the sword runs far and deep, as do the journeys on which it takes me.
And that's it. Kamiizumi lives. Now, you may not actually need to talk to Mahzer and the Gossiper again in Chapter 6, just so long as you get For My Mother, Do You Still Love Her, and possibly The Truth of the Matter, since it gives the information Adia would need to be saying the stuff she does during the Quintessential Swordmaster. This was quite the journey. It wasn't some massive month-long venture or whatever, but I was sincerely impressed by how much effort went into telling this story between Braev and Kamiizumi. It really fleshes out Kamiizumi into a very caring character, surrendering his own feelings for the sake of his friends, someone who saw the budding love between his best friend and the woman of his dreams, but still being there for both of them in their hours of need, only to then teach their daughter in the way of the sword thereafter. You can really feel just how much he cares for Adia over the course of these cutscenes. And seeing Adia thank Kamiizumi for everything at the end of it all was just the perfect culmination of the storyline. All of this is truly one of the countless examples of the amount of love put into this game. As stated before, I will be posting the directions I took to complete it in the description, even if they may be a little longer than what is exactly necessary. I hope this has been of some help or interest to you, and let me know below if you want me to try and find some more of these cutscenes again in the future. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the path of the warrior someday. Until then, may your sword strike true, your feet never grow weary, and, your braves be defaulting. Yeah.